Gibbo presents.
It's Gibbo, and right now I'm joined by the promoter of Death Wish Sound Killing, last Saturday's clash between Soul Supreme and Blunt Posse. It is Andrew Digital. Andrew, walk on.
Give up yourself.
Things came to a rather unusual ending in the early hours of Sunday morning, and everyone seems to have a slightly different account of what took place. Can you clear things up for me and tell me exactly what happened?
Well, given I will not only clear things up for you, I'll clear things up for the Clash community and the world to just understand exactly what happened, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, a lot of the fans was there don't really know, maybe understand what was going on or, you know? So let me just clear it up for you. What happened Saturday night, I didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, the fans didn't know what was going to happen. None of us know what was going to happen. But I know this much, Gibbo. Without an oath, anything can happen in some clash right now. Without an oath, a clash could end at 2 o'clock when the venue closed at 5. You know, I've seen that happen a couple of times, you know what I mean? And let me just start and explain from the top, as a promoter, what agreement I had with the sounds. I went to book Blunt Posse first, because I contacted Soul Supreme. Didn't give them any rules, didn't give them any rules or give them an outline of the dance. I just told them I want a one-on-one dance with Blunt Posse. Me and both people are my friends. Me and Rito is virgin, we talk on a daily basis. Me and Father Blunt we talk on a daily basis also. You understand? So me and Father Blunt went into more in-depth speaking about the dance more than me and Soul Supreme them did at first. As I kept the one-on-one dance with him with King Addies before a couple of years ago, and he told me that he would have the same format as the Addies dance, you know what I mean? There was no oath, we were just one-on-one, time done, the next one come in and play. But that was 8 years ago, if I'm correct. I'm not lying. It could be 8 years or more. It was maybe 8 years ago that the Addies and Blunt dance was. And within that time, the things that's happening in Sound Clash right now, like a man may win 2 rounds and say him win 3 and you win 1 and me win 3, me win 0 and I walk out. That was happening at the time when me and Blunt, when Blunt gave me the one-on-one dance with that is. It was more of, to me, more respect with the sounds them and respect to the patrons that's paying their money. You know what I mean? Right now, I see a lot of foolishness are going on. So I sold a lot of tickets for this dance, Gibbo. A lot of people came to me while they were buying tickets and I say, Andrew, we don't want to walk out Saturday night, we'll get the money spending on. So I'm hearing all these things and thinking about it. I called back Blunt. And I said to Blunt, I feel like we should have a host for the dance. The picture say what be going on with some of the dances them. Those will happen, you know what I mean? Blunt is a man with him say, yo, you know, in the spirit of our fight, I play to run, so no matter the Andrew, we don't worry about it. I'm not going to walk out there dance, blah, blah, blah. When I go to Soul Supreme now, which I told Blunt, it's all good for me and you to talk about the rules, but it's also good for me and Soul Supreme. There's two sound clashing. It's not me and you clashing. So when I went to Soul Supreme now, them say, no, Andrew, they don't want a host. They don't care what rules I have in the dance. All they're saying is they want a host to keep the order. They don't want the idiot thing. They don't want the dance to get out of control. And then me was on the side of, yeah, I think me really need a host, Gibbo. You understand? You with me, Gibbo?
Yeah, with you, definitely, yeah.
All right. So I went back to Blunt Posse now and said, yo, I need the thing to be judged. If it's not even an oath, like getting involved too much, I needed the thing to be judged. You must say, Andrew, you got an agreement already, say, yo, we don't want an oath. And we want to say, yes, but that's an idiot you have going on some clash right now. And I'm a promoter that have a lot of clash coming up. So I don't want this to go sour with the people, I just to go bad, and then I'm the one who they're going to blame on my dance. And me, I keep it. Also, so people asked me for was a host. They never asked for no stipulation. They never asked me how long the round is. Whatever I told them it was going to be, they agreed to it. And Blunt agreed with the over the rounds also, but the only thing he was saying is he didn't want a host. And I was saying, I want a host, and so Supreme was saying that they want a host. So, Gibbo, I'm there for that choice, right?
Yep.
You know, I'm there for that choice where it's Saturday. The people that buy them tickets already, the venue's paid for already. I paid Blunt Posse and paid everybody in in full. You understand? So I'm left with a choice. Don't want a host. So I went to Soul Supreme. I'm a big up return Junior team. I went to them and they say, Andrew, when play the dance without a host. And people, I asked them, because I realized that Blunt wasn't backing down. You understand? Blunt was telling me that me and him have an agreement, but me and him have a verb, me and him talk about it, but at the end of the day, Gibbo, I'm my dance. You understand? So if me have books 2 sounds, also they should just work with what I'm telling them because I'm me pay them. You understand? To the dance. And I tried to get them to get a host, and I just couldn't make him agree to using a host. You know what I mean? They reach a point where maybe the dance will cancel on Saturday if they push the host issue. You know? So I made a decision to say before we cancel the dance, we have a dance coming up in 2 weeks. It's not going to be a good look for me nor the fans them. So I'm going to say, yo, hopefully the dance go on and there's no reason for the dance to be disrupted. You understand? And to give up, even though there was no host there was no reason for the dance to be disrupted because round 1 was good, round 2 was good, round 3 was good, round 4 was good. You understand? So with that song, stop playing. It's not my fault.
As far as you're concerned, was there a winner on Saturday night, or is it a draw or a no contest?
Winner, no winner. Gibbo, I'll say this. You understand? Because this is what I was running from, and I expressed it to Blunt, which he was the one I didn't want to host. I expressed to him that this is what I didn't want to happen. And he assured me that this wasn't going to happen. You understand, Gibbo? He assured me that this not going to happen. He said, nah, I go walk out, I play till 4:30. Gibbo, the club closed at 4:30, right? And I paid Albany man extra to keep the dance for 5 o'clock because I feel like it was too big sound, too bad sound, I cut a lot of tunes. I could enjoy with stuff and travel to push it to the making people them really get their money's worth. I even went and make Albany man extend it for me. They're not knowing that, but the dance started at 12:30 and I promised the patron it was going to start at 12 o'clock. I was 20 minutes late. Something now, I don't even know what the reason why when Blunt Posse stopped playing, they stopped. All I heard was because Soul Supreme went overtime. Gibbo, that's not a reason for it to stop playing because I was on the stage. The crowd saw me on stage a couple of times. And I interact with Soul Supreme at the time was done. I interact with Blunt. The first round started at 12:21. And I was outside at 12:53, 12:54, rushing back inside to get Blunt to stop the first one because, Gibbo, you need a ref and you need somebody to interact in the dance. At the time the dancers can't roll without a host. It's 2 sound system, it's 2 hosts. I'm a promoter. I'm dealing with my bar. I'm dealing with my door. I don't have no time to be running back and forth from the door to the bar to make sure that I'm on top today. You know what I mean? If you're not going to have mutual respect with each other, just have a host. And there's no mutual respect in sound clash because everybody wants to win and nobody wants to lose. So you must have some kind of rules to keep this thing going. And Gibbo, trust me. And I tried to make Saturday, when I couldn't get the host, I was thinking about really cancelling this. And I said I couldn't go to the people them, not to the sounds and spend the money. But I tried to get a host into the venue.
Have you had a chance to speak with Father Blunt or any of the other members of Blunt Posse since the clash?
No, I did not.
Is that something you're looking to do?
Yes, but at the moment I was very upset. And I tell that personally, I was very, very upset. You know what I mean?
Have you spoken to any of the members of Soul Supreme?
Well, I spoke to them and you see, they're upset with me because what I promised them, I didn't deliver to them. I promised them they wanted a host, and I didn't give them a host. And I said, okay, me and Blunt to dance, I'll go on a certain rules and regulation. I was hoping that since there is no rules in the dance, one of the songs will take it upon themselves to outplay the next song, or the patrons will view the displeasure in the next song. I don't see that happening on Saturday. You know what I mean? And, you know, Blunt Posse had the early part of the dance. He had the early part of the dance. But then Adrian Jakes came in, and Jakes had some good moments in the dance also. And then when I realized that Blunt didn't come back in and play, So I went to them and asked them what happened, and Blunt told me that something about over the time, and I went to them and them said nobody wanted to come in, so they continue to play.
Would you be interested in hosting a rematch between Soul Supreme and Blunt Posse if there was a host definitely going to be in place for the event?
Wait, if I would host it?
Would you host it, yes?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. The people them spend their money with Gibbo, the people them deserve better than that. You know, and I apologize to the crowd who came, and I apologize to all the fans that came outside. I apologize to everybody, even people that wasn't there, because this is what I didn't want to happen. And I don't think Blunt went there knowing that this was going to happen, but when you're in the emotion of playing music and things happening, you never know what could happen, you know what I mean? And I'm not so only want the rules or the judge because of a winner. I also wanted that when one song time is up, both songs do not have to interact with each other, and that could also lead to an altercation. You understand, Gibbo? It is best when an host is going to the next song and say your time is up. Beside that next song man walking over there, that could also lead to a confrontation. You know what I mean? So there's many reasons why we need a host or a timekeeper or a referee, somebody to control to hold the order. We need that.
Well, thanks for clearing things up with regards to the organisation of Saturday night's clash. I know you're a man who always likes to give the public their money's worth, and one event which I'm sure will do that is your next big promotion, Global Clash 2014 King of the World, which takes place on July the 12th at Pulse 48 Outdoor Battlefield. We have Bodyguards going up against King IDs, Love Injection, Super Fresh, Rhythm Force, and Barrier Free. Can you tell me why you included each sound in this edition of Global Clash and what each of them bring to the event?
Well, let's start with Addies, which is a defending champion. And I mean, Addies is a three-time champion of Global Clash. So I want to big them up. And, you know, they've been doing well for the past 2 years. So, you know, they're the defending champions. So they were coming back to defend their crown. So I'll move on to Bodyguard, which is representing the island of Jamaica. Well, it was a long thought, you know, it was a long thinking process to come up with who would represent Jamaica. I had a bunch of sound on my radar, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I started thinking about Bodyguard because Bodyguard is one of the most beloved sound from Jamaica in New York. You know what I mean? Just at the base of the city and themselves, the people, Bodyguard have a large, to me, following in New York City. You know what I mean? And as a promoter, you also have to find out who you can bring that could also sell that tickets for you. You know what I mean? So Bodyguard, that's one I haven't been here for 13 years. You know? The last time they came, you know, they've never been here in 13 years to clash, but they've been here recently for a Steely Bashment dance with Firelinks, Bodyguard, King Addies, Tony Matterhorn. That was maybe 2 years ago. And Bodyguard Gibbo gave a good showing with a new MC that go by the name of Six Killer. So, you know, they have a nice team, and they have the veteran Johnny God, you know, from Bodyguard. So I decided that let me try to see. They never been in 13 years. Let me see if I can talk to the boss, quote and sing, and see if I could get them here. You know what I mean? It was you know what I mean? Met him at a couple of over the phone conversations until he gave me the bookings. So I'm very happy to have Bodyguard and this year Global Clash representing Jamaica. You know, the song from Canada now is Super Fresh, which you know is one of the top songs of Canada. You know what I mean? And they also recently had a big dance with LP Jaro in Canada recently, and that dance was a big success for I think most of the songs that was on the event. It was a sold-out event, and also Super Fresh gave a good showing. So when I thought about Canada, a sound to represent from Canada, I was saying to myself, I think the people has never seen Super Fresh in New York. I brought them here once before, but unfortunately, you know, their tunes got mixed up and they wasn't able to play. So, you know, the people have still never saw Super Fresh on the battlefield in New York City. So I know that a lot of people over the years has been requesting Super Fresh in New York City, and I'm very happy again, very, very happy. We got Double Six and the World Super Fresh crew to have them come into Global Clash. you know. The next sound that I want to talk about is Rhythm Force, which Gibbo is one of the younger sound with members, but the top box is not that young. But, you know, they just came back out and they have been firing all cylinder. All dancers that I booked with them, they have came and gave good showing, you know what I mean? And I figured to myself that the Clash business right now, Gibbo, is on a rise not only in Europe, in New York, in Asia, in the Caribbean, and a lot of new sounds has risen up. So I said, okay, I have a lot of veteran sound and global clashes here. So let me give the new Clash fans around the world somebody fresh that they are not familiar with, which is one of them is Rhythm Force. And a good MC, a good selector, a good team, a good dub box that could match up with the veterans. So I said, you know, I wanted to use Rhythm Force on this dance also. And this next song is a big song from Birmingham, England, and from the UK, which is Love Injection, which we all know is a very big song, very good song, very good team, and a very good dub box. You know what I mean? Last time they came to New York City, the touch against Earthwooler, it was a very impressive show. So, you know, I've been getting a lot of requests over the years for not bringing a UK sound to Global Clash. I said this year will be the year that I do it, and I'm happy, very happy to be able to put Love Injection for this dance. You know what I mean? Last but not least, you know, Barrier Free. Barrier Free out of Japan. Gibbo, a sound that, let me tell you, I've booked them before. Also booked them in Canada, and I tell you, they always put on a good show, a real good show. And the Japanese fan base in New York City is a large one. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just, to me, the intelligent thing to do, to have a sound that have a large fan base in New York City, Barrier Free. Last dance, they were also impressive. So I said I will give the Asia people a sound that will represent them to the fullest. And I went to Barrier Free. Very good sound, Gibbo. Doctor and the crew, very, very strong team. And I'll tell you, they're going to come to surprise people in this year Global Clash.
Can you give me a quick rundown of the rules and the formats?
The introduction round of this dance will be a 15 minutes round for all the sounds on the dance. There will be non-elimination for the first round. Second round will be a 10 minutes round. The third will be a 10 minutes. The fourth will be a 10 minutes. The fifth round will be a 10 minutes round. And there will be one sound eliminated after the first round. And we have two hosts that will be hosting this clash. DJ Noriega from Power 105 in New York City, and Redface, you know what I mean, a sound clash fanatic have been in the sound clash thing for a long time, and they, I know, will have full control of this crowd, you know what I mean? And you know, I have a very good feeling about this dance. As far as the rounds goes, I'm trying to like lessen the rounds so there will be no 5 minutes round and no 7 minutes round. The least minute it can be is a 10 minutes round. And clash start, Gibbo, at 12 sharp. And this, as you know, is an outdoor event. The second big outdoor event, sound clash in New York history. So, you know, there's a lot of anticipation on the rise of this clash right here.
Certainly is a lot of anticipation leading up to this event. I can certainly speak for myself and say can't wait for Global Clash 2014. Andrew, thanks a lot for your time.
Gibbo, big up yourself, and I want to big up also Soul Supreme, Blunt Posse, Grenham Sound, and Natural Vibe Sound. You know what I mean? And I want to apologize to the people again, you know what I mean, for the way this dance was ended. You know what I mean? Because I don't like it, Gibbo. I'm very upset about it, real talk. But I like it. I put a lot of work into that dance, a lot of money into that dance. I may not like it because this is what I try to avoid. I'm thankful for the time, Gibbo, for giving me the voice. You know what I mean? To let the people that know what I want, because they deserve to know. So big up the people them and big up yourself, Gibbo, for a good job you're doing.
Gibbo.